Welcome to Lunch with Laura on, finally, I'm happy to say, a sunny August day. Let's hope that the weather continues. It's so much nicer when the weather's sunny and warm because we've got so many brides getting married this month. All our lovely brides from last year that had to move over to this year, and all the brides that already had dates booked for this year now getting married in great style, and it's great. But obviously when you've been waiting so long, and some of our girls have had like their 5th wedding date, to then have a day where it's a deluge of rain and everyone's getting soaking wet, it's really demoralising. So hallelujah, finally we've got some nice weather, and happy weddings to everyone that's getting married in the sunshine. Keep the pictures coming, girls. There are literally hundreds at the moment. We've got, well, nearly 300, 290 something brides getting married in August from Bellissima. So obviously there's a big amount of wedding pictures coming back, and they're all beautiful. Believe me, we do look at them all, and we do and ah over all of them and think how beautiful you all look. So we do really appreciate that. We can't possibly get them all on social media at the same time. We will drip feed them through. There may come a point, we have decided, I know the other week I said we were only going to do one a week, but we'd have to be open until the year, I don't know what, 3,000 to be able to do that. So I think what we might do at some point is a little carousel with some brides all on one carousel, because otherwise we'll never get to congratulate you all, and that is absolutely what we want to do. I know that Lily put something out on Insta a couple of weeks ago about cleaning for September, and if you have got married and you would like us to clean your dress, we are taking bookings. They are going fast now, so we will start the cleaning from September onwards. Give us a call if you do want us to clean, and if you've got any little things, any little holes, anything that needs mending, we can do that. Not at the moment, unless you are going to be wearing that dress for a party or a second wedding very soon. We will ask you to come in September or October to bring your dress in, and we can then get that sorted for you. So yeah, I'm so happy for all our August brides. It looks like we're going to get a little bit more stable with the weather now, so that's amazing. And as we go forward into next week, of course, we are waiting for Boris to make his next big announcement, which, as I understand it, is, I think it's the 16th that he said he was going to make another announcement. And as far as I understand, he is going to change the whole way that you have to self-isolate if you get pinged. So I think at the moment, if you are living in a family or working all together, and one person has to either self-isolate or has to stay away because they've got COVID, the rest of the team would have to do the same. Now I think it's slightly different, which means that as we go forward into the rest of the month, we may well be able to relax our, which are still quite strict for a lot of businesses are doing this, but we are still asking to wear masks and keep distances. We will be doing that for the foreseeable future until Boris makes that decision that we can move forward in a different way, and then we will relax accordingly. We are not going to do it until we know that it's okay, because as I said, all these girls that are getting married this month, if anything happened to one of the team and we all had to shut, I can't even begin to think where we would go with everything. So we are being uber careful, and we will do so. Next week, I think Tuesday, after Boris has said whatever he's going to say on Monday, I'll let you know on Tuesday exactly where we're going to go with everything. But for the moment, we're still staying as we are. Going forward, as I say, we may well be able to be relaxing the rules a little bit, but bear with us. You know, if we say still to keep your groups to the levels that are very low hum. The room that we're filming in today takes 4 guests comfortably, and then that allows for the bride and the stylist as well. So 6 people in this space moving about and all having a lovely time is a comfortable thing. Once we can relax completely, we will allow an extra guest. But we never used to allow more than 4 or 5 guests at Bellissima at any time in any case. So it's not like we're suddenly saying you can't come in because of COVID. We're just going back to what we used to allow. The other 2 rooms are smaller. There just isn't the room. We have to be sensible. Even without any COVID, we would never say you can bring 6 people and stuff you all in the corner, because it's not fun for anyone. So those rooms, it's 2 people, 3 at a push. But for the moment, and to clear any confusion up, the 2 smaller rooms, that is room 1 and 3, is 2 guests, and the bigger room, which is the room we're in now, which is room 2, is 4 guests, and that's what we're sticking to until we know more next week from Boris, and I'll come back and give you an update then. So I hope that clears that up for everyone. If you've got any queries, or you think, oh damn it, I really want to bring more people, give us a call and we can move your appointment back a little bit until regulations should be a little bit easier to work with. However, if you want to bring 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, we are not the shop for you. We don't have the space, and we also really don't subscribe to the whole say yes to the dress, bring 6,000 million people there, and all those opinions. Honestly, it doesn't work. It's great for television. Why would they not do that for a television programme? Of course it's great, because you've got all those arguments going on, you've got people that don't like people, you've got people saying yes, people saying no, the bride crying in a corner, and that all makes perfect television. However, it doesn't make a perfect life experience, and that's what we aim to create for you when you come to Bellissima. So we pare those numbers down to a sensible amount, and then we hope to give you the time of your life when you're trying your dress on, which, let's face it, you're never going to forget, good or bad, and we want it to be good. So I shall say no more on the subject until next week, and I'm going to leave it there. Now, I have got a couple of questions here, and one of the questions actually was Steph, and she actually asks, how many people can I bring with me to do dress shopping? So Steph, I hope that's already answered your question. But what I would say, when you are starting your journey for your dress shopping, seriously think about who you want there when you're choosing your dress. You know, this is a moment in your life that you will never forget. So obviously you want your nearest and dearest there, but really think long and hard about how many people you want with you when you're making that decision, and make sure that they are people and judgments that you do really trust. Don't buy a dress just because your best friend or your cousin thinks it looks nice and thinks it looks nice more than another dress. You have got to be able to listen to your inner voice, because after all, you're the one that's going to be living with that photo on your mantelpiece or out somewhere, or even if it's not out, it's on your phone for the rest of your life. They haven't, you know, they can choose to go home, shut the door and forget all about your wedding. You are never going to do that. So remember that, and make sure that you've got the people, the closest, your nearest and dearest, the people that really matter to you and that you really trust to have an honest opinion of what you're putting on and what you're asking. So that's why, again, we say keep the numbers down. It makes for a much more pleasant experience. If then you want to bring more people for other opinions on other things, or you feel like you've got people that you want to include in the whole experience and you feel bad that you didn't take them out when you are dress shopping, then you do nothing else other than order or come to us and have an accessories appointment. You can bring another group of people, the people that didn't come last time. Book this room, bring 4, and then eventually 5 people. Look at veils, look at tiaras. Give them input on the other pieces that you are going to have. Once you've had that big decision made by your nearest and dearest, you can then farm those other opinions out further afield and get more of an opinion and be able to include everyone that way. And that is a much more sense. Believe me, after 20 years of bridal retailing, let me tell you, that is a far more sensible way to go about things. We don't say you can't bring people because we want to obstruct or make a bad time or be difficult or anything other. Why we say this, honestly, why we say this is because we have your best interests at heart, and because we want to be able to create you a positive and fabulous life moment. And that is why we do it, ladies. It's for that reason only. So Steph, I hope that makes sense. And yeah, hope to see you soon in Bellissima. I have another question here, and it is one that I do answer most weeks, but I'm going to say it again. How far in advance should I start looking for dresses? And this is Becky. So Becky, really, you want to have got your dress on order at least 6 to 8 months before your wedding date. And I would actually say start shopping at least a year before your wedding date, because then that's going to give you plenty of time for your dress to come in, but also you're actually shopping at the same time of year that you're getting married in. So, you know, each season has its own vibe, it has its own smell to the air, it has its own feeling. And if you're getting married in Christmas but you're buying your dress in the summer, there's a disconnect to how you're actually going to feel in the dresses. So you could end up choosing something that is wonderful for a summer wedding, not so great for Christmas, and it's harder to get in that mindset. It's much easier if you're looking in December for a December wedding, as it is if you're looking in August for an August wedding. If you're getting married abroad, or then short of actually going to the country that you're going to get married in and trying on dresses there, which is a little bit impossible, then you do have to sort of channel that feeling a little bit more than you would do otherwise, and be guided maybe a little bit more by the stylist that helps you, because we know what dresses are going to suit, what dresses will look fab abroad, will pack well, and all of that. So I would say at least a year is ideal. But we have girls already on our books for 2023 that have quite happily chosen and booked their dress, and that's fine. That's fine too. There's never really too soon a time to do it if you know what you like. If you're very guided by fashion and you're very worried that you might have bought last year's designs, well then by all means leave it a little longer. I do have to say that bridal fashion moves much, much slower than mainstream fashion. So yes, absolutely, if you were going to a wedding in 2 years' time, there's no way you'd go out and buy your guest outfit now, because you know damn well that whatever you buy now, you're maybe not going to like in 2 years' time. The colour might be wrong, you know, the hemline might be the wrong length, you know, it could be a million and one things. But a bridal style, really, within 2 years is going to change very little. And a lot of our dresses actually have been on our rails for longer than 2 years, because if it's a top-selling design and it looks great on lots of different frames, then we're going to keep that on our rails to make sure that all our customers get the best benefit from it. So you could well be actually trying on a dress that has already been here a couple of years. The trick for us is to make sure that we find you the perfect dress, and don't get too caught up if it's this season's style or last season's style or however long it's been hanging around. The most important thing is that it looks good on you. So I would say, as soon as you're ready, start shopping. If there's any weight loss going to be in this whole bridal story, then I would really, you don't want to peak too soon. You don't want to go on one of those mad crash diets, lose all the weight that you want to lose, and then really struggle to keep it off, because believe me, we see that. But be sensible about it. Also, don't turn yourself into somebody else, because your other half is actually marrying you for you. And everybody looks beautiful in the right fitting and the correct dress. So don't think that you have to be a particular size or not a particular size to look good in a wedding dress. Dress for you when you feel comfortable about yourself. And if that does mean losing a few pounds, by all means do that, and then come out shopping. But it's very hard to come shopping if you are not how you think you're going to be on your wedding day, because you're going to feel so differently about yourself. And we see this all the time. You know, the girls that have wanted to diet and have been felt so different, so much more confident when they've changed shape, or when they've put weight on, because you know we do have some girls that are struggling to actually put weight on. We're women, we're never happy with what we've got, but sometimes, you know, it needs to be the other way around. So I would say go dress shopping when you're comfortable with your size, and not when you are hoping to be someone else. And also think that a good wedding dress is going to make you feel so good about yourself, you're going to want to stop there. So do not buy and do not try other things that you think, yeah, great, I'm going to order this because I'm going to feel fantastic in that when I've lost weight or when I've put weight on. Because it's not the dress that's going to make you feel fantastic, it's you. And that might not happen. And what if that doesn't happen? Don't set all that up for yourself. So just come out when you're ready, when you're feeling great about yourself, jump in, try it all on, leave it to the stylist that will be with you, and I can guarantee that we will find you the dress of your dreams that makes you feel $1 million. So I know it was a very long-winded answer there, but I hope, Becky, that hope to see you soon in Bellissima, and we can put all of that into practice for you and find you a fab dress. Right, so what else have I got here? So, I've got this lovely beauty here. This beautiful dress of the week is a Maggie Sotero dress, and she's called Aiden. She retails at $1,745, and as you can see, is just made of the most lovely crepe. Now, it's not that crepe like sometimes where it's very, very stretchy. It's really not got much stretch in it at all, this crepe. But what you don't get in stretch, you get in movement. So this, when this is fitted, just moves like, just imagine just pouring a cup of cream or evaporated milk or something, and that lovely flowiness and that sort of slow motion flowiness, that's what you get from this type of fabric. You can sort of see it as I tap it, it just sort of moves. It's gorgeous. There are some really clever styling details on this dress. It looks really simple, but actually it's anything but simple. And I'm just going to show you. You've got this lovely wide piece here, which goes right under the bust, and then smooths that little bit, nips your waist right in, and then you've got this lace which covers the top half of your tummy and then goes down onto your hips. So if you've got one of those tummies that really play ball and is always a little bit like, oh, funny, I didn't have that, gone with this dress, absolutely gone. I will say one thing, it's a bit tricky on the neckline, and it isn't necessarily the neckline for everyone, because as you can see, it does come right down here. So why have we done this as dress of the week? We've done it because, you know, there are girls that have no bust, and there's nothing wrong with that, and they do struggle sometimes in the dresses that have bust cups, that then, you know, they don't really, you know, and you may well find it yourself if you are very flat-chested or very well, not even unblessed, because we're all blessed, aren't we? It doesn't matter if you've got big boobs or small boobs, whether or not you're blessed. But let's just say, for argument's sake, you've got no boobs and you're quite flat-chested, and you put on a structured dress that has a bust cup. It might fit you everywhere else, but that bust cup is always going to be that bust cup. And we do see this time and time again, where girls that have a flatter chest look at and think, I don't know what to do, because if I fill that up with a pad, I've suddenly got boobs I didn't have before, and I don't know if I want them. Fit the rest of the dress lovely, but this bust cup thing is an issue. So if you embrace the fact that you are flat-chested and you go for something like this, you're wearing a neckline that very few people can actually wear. It will look amazing on you. It has got a slight cup in there, not the biggest cup in the world, but there is a little bit of coverage and padding there. And actually, it makes the most of what you've got and enhances what you've got without it looking false. So sometimes, you know, we do see this, if you've got that type of flatter chest, you know, or I know this is a bit of a funny thing, but sometimes, you know, some boobs are a bit further out, you know, like I've got those boobs, and they don't really sort of meet in the middle, and I can't get a cleavage even if I cross my arms, it just never really happens. So if you've got those type of boobs that are slightly further out, this is brilliant and suddenly makes the best of everything you've got. So if you are that way inclined and you find that that is your body shape, this is the dress of the week, because it is just amazing on that bust. The other bust that it is fabulous on is those of us that have actually gone under the knife and had some fake boobs put in. Because if you've got fake boobs and gravity is your best friend, then this is great, because your boob's going to stay there whatever. You don't need any sort of uplift, you don't need anything at all. You've got those boobs, they're there, and if you've paid for them, you probably don't mind them being out on show a little bit more than some of our other brides. So again, great if you've got that. So basically, this is the dress for you if you've got no boobs or you've got enhanced boobs. The rest of us, the ones in between, may be a little bit tricky, but dress of the week, because it answers and resolves a couple of really tricky body issues that some of our brides find they have when they start trying dresses on. So that's the reason that we've declared this dress of the week for that neckline. The trickiest one, but absolutely the best for some of our lovely brides. Whilst I've got you, before you all go off, I'm just going to show you the back. She's got the lovely V back and all the little detail. And as you can see, look, she's cut right out down to there. So you can wear a little thong or something under here. not a big knickers. Well, actually you could wear big knickers as long as they were flesh colour and they came up to that line, as long as you can't actually see it. Or you could ask the seamstress to line that bit if you're a little bit worried. But if you're body confident, and let's face it, because it's quite clingy here, you probably are anyway, probably don't mind that bit, it's worth trying it on to have a look and see how that falls on you. But look at this train, and I've gone right out of shot now. But look, it's got the most beautiful train as well, really ornate, got some beautiful lace going on there. Gives it a bit of weight at the end. Look, and again, can you see that fabric? The way that it moves, it just sort of billows, it's just lovely. And for that reason, she's our dress of the week. You could dress her up with a long veil, and she would do just as well in the UK in a wedding venue as she would do on a beach. Because it's quite low at the front, probably not the best thing for a church, and not even the type of thing that you would wear a jacket over or anything. Just don't go there. If you're going to want that, then go for something else. But for everybody else, definitely worth trying on. She's absolutely gorgeous, and that's it really. That's all I've got to say about her. So I am going to say goodbye. Have a lovely week. Enjoy the sun, and I will see everyone next week with Lunch with Laura.